Hey there, guys. A few people have said, I'm fighting Kokuryu, but I don't have people you use. Like, I don't have Ace, Rem, Selfie, Mastermind, Zahn. What can I use as alternatives? So I'm going to be doing another clear on Kokuryu using... Now, this is not a budget team by any means. This is an alternative team. I'm using all different units, and we're not using what I used in my first clear. So we're going to be going to turn 7 with this clear, because we're using Chocofina, who needs 7 turns for her best DPS, and Quistis, who needs 6 turns for her best DPS. So for this team, we're going to be doing Chocofina. Like I mentioned, we're going to turn 7, so because of that, we're going to need, after buffs, 175% water resist and 160% earth resist. Now, because we're using... Chocofina, because we're using Luna Freya, she buffs our earth and water resist by 100%, so we only need 75 water and 60 earth from gear. Other than that, we're using lots of Dragon Killer. Aurora Frievia is going to absolute mirror chain with Chocofina. She's got lots of Dragon Killer and, the resistance needed. Quistis is going to be our primary DPS. She's going to cap with her homing laser, so she's got lots of Dragon Killer and magic, and the resistance is needed. Here's our provoke tank, Riku. Now this is going to be kind of expensive, making her passive provoke evasion. This needs pretty extreme gear. Like I said, this is not a budget run, this is an alternative run. If you don't have Zahn's STMR, Locke's STMR works as well for this. Now Riku does not need any earth resist. She only needs water, 75 water. We also put Riku and Luna Freya on Flood chaining Espers. We're going to chain Flood with Kokuryu and Leviathan with dual wield to help build that chain on the kill turn. Luna Freya is going to be a buffer. She's mostly only here for her 100% earth and water resist buff, but she's also going to do 200% stat buffs, and that's pretty much it. She can actually cast the Flood spell, but we put her on an Esper anyway, and we gave both her and Riku a wind weapon, so we can dual element chain, just to build the chain a tiny speck faster. And we're taking Black Mage Vivi. He's going to be a dark finisher, but most importantly, he also provides our Imperil by 120 lightning. So we're getting lightning Imperil from Vivi with his LB, and lightning imbue from Riku. That's where the lightning damage is coming from. Now, of course, Black Mage Vivi's actual damage is dark, so he's wrong element, but he's still a pretty good finisher, even wrong element. So we gave him, magical Dragon Killer, the resistances needed, etc. Okay, let's get in here and do it. So this is going to be a 7-turn clear. We're going to take 0 damage, which is fine. We're going to get a 100-point chain, which is good. We're not going to lose any deaths. I'm not sure what the damage dealt score is going to be. Like, it's clearly going to be way worse than my, Ace, Rem, Selfie team. But if you don't have those mages, what are you going to do? You're going to use alternatives. Here's some alternatives. Okay, so because we're not buffing Earth Resist on turn 1, because Luna Freya's Earth Resist is an unlock, we're going to be using Mirage to dodge the first Earth AoE. So Riku is going to Mirage, and we're also going to start using Steel Will to fill limit gauge. So we've got to get Vivi's limit filled before turn 6. Luna Freya is going to buff our Water Resist and then use Benevolence to unlock her Earth Resist for next turn. Vivi is going to start powering up his Doomsday with his Demise skills. Chocofina is going to Limit Ray and use her Latent. We need to get her LB filled as well. Aurora Frievia is going to double. We're going to use her Latent, and we're going to just cast AR. This is just for limit crystals, just to help get Vivi's LB ready to go quicker. And Quistis will Mighty Guard. We don't need the mitigation because we're immune to all damage, but it fills LB gauge as well. So here's all the attacks. The boss uses a 75% Water Imperil and a 60% Earth Imperil on the team, but after Luna Freya's buffs, we're still immune. So Riku will now just swap over to double Varja. Not Varja. We're double Steel Will. This is going to be for the filling LB gauge to get Vivi's LB filled sooner. Quistis will just Mighty Guard again. Vivi will now use Electric Demise. That gives him all 3 of his permanent power-ups for Doomsday. That's for later in the fight. Now Luna Freya is going to use the better Earth and Water Resist buff with Hydrian Leviathan and Archaean Titan. Those are 100% resist buffs. Choco Fiend is ready to go, so we can just guard her every turn. We don't need her anymore. We should get Vivi next turn, so we can just guard Frievia. And yeah, now we're just waiting until turn 7, basically. The reason for turn 7 is because Chocobo Fina's best nuke, Choco Re-Raise, is only available on turn 7 or beyond. She's even worse than Quistis for the setup turns. But, you know, turn 6, turn 7, what's the difference? Who cares? Riku will steal Will again. Quistis will that. Alright, so VV's LB is ready to go. VV's LB is a 5-turn in peril. So we can go ahead and do it now. We're not dispelling the boss. There's no reason to wait for it. Luna Freya will go ahead and give us immunity to Spirit and Magic Breaks again. And then we'll just do Light of Salvation for some mana regen. And yeah, basically at this point the team is all set up. Now we're going to wait till turn 6 to do our pre-fight buffing and breaking. And other than that, we're good to go. Everybody's ready. Oh, one thing I should mention is because we're using VV's Doomsday, make sure no one on your team has negative Dark Resist. That's an important thing. We can just guard these two. They're all ready to go. Yeah, everybody's ready. Riku, we don't need anything from you anymore. Luna Freya, let's just keep those resist buffs active. And we just wait. On turn 6, we're going to do all the final setup. Now, the boss does use a more powerful single target Earth in peril. Riku was actually imperiled by more than 60% to Earth. But because she's evading all the Earth damage, we don't really care. Alright, Luna Freya, let's go ahead and refresh one more time the break immunity, and then we'll just stop. Alright, so for the chain score, we're going to be getting 24 points of chain from Riku dual casting Flood, or dual wielding Flood. 24 more from Luna Freya dual wielding Flood. 24 each from Fina and Frievia triple casting Absolute Mirror of Equity. We're going to get 4 points from VV's Doomsday, and 2 points from Quistis dual wielding Homing Laser. That comes out to a 101 point chain. But now it's turn 6. We're going to kill next turn. So we're going to go ahead and have Luna Freya do her LB. That's going to give us a 200% stat buff. Quistis has nothing to do for the setup turn, so she just waits. Frievia is going to Gift of Daylight for her triple cast. Vivi is going to Dark Fog and Focus Magic to get his Doomsday ready. Choco Fina is going to LB, so she's ready next turn. That unlocks her modifier boost. And then Riku is going to break the boss and Machina charge for the Thunder Imbue. So we're now imbued to Thunder. We've got all the buffs from Luna Freya. Everyone is set up. All the mod booster up. We're still immune to all the damage from Luna Freya's resistances. The boss is broken by 80%. Okay, it's time for the kill turn. So Vivi is going to quadruple black. We're going to Doomsday 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be a nice finisher. Riku's going to dual wield Flood along with Luna Freya. Quistis is going to Homing Laser to cap. Frievia is going to triple Absolute Mirror of Equity. Choco Fina is going to triple it. Now, we're going to use Choco Re-Raise first. That's her big cooldown that does more damage, but it's an AoE attack, so we want to use it first because you know how AoE attacks work in this game. You don't want to use that last. It'll get canceled. And then we're going to double Choco Dash for the rest. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and send VV because his is a slow cast. Start the Flood, then we're going to start everyone else, and then we enjoy our damage. So Quistis blew the boss up really quick. There's that 101 point chain I mentioned. And let's see how our damage did. Oh yeah, damage is real bad. 7.4 million. Or 740 million, so 0.7 billion. My Ace Rim selfie team did 1.8 billion. So we did almost 3 times higher with the other team. But again, if you don't have them, you don't have them. What are you going to do? So here's an alternative. We did get a flawless score and everything else, though. So we got a flawless, chain, etc. I mean, it's not the best score. If you don't have the current mages, you just you're just not going to cap damage. What are you going to do? I didn't even cap damage with Ace, Rem, and Selfie. I was still a little bit short myself. So, but yeah, so we got Flawless everything else, turn 7 victory. There is an alternative Kokuryu strat. And I'll try to do an alternative strat for each of these bosses. It's a little bit easier because it's one boss per day, so it's a little bit less stressful on me to make multiple videos because it's just one per day, one boss per day. But okay, there's an alternative Kokuryu team, and I'll see you guys in 12 or so hours when Area 2 opens. Later.